Please remain standing for the national anthem, sung by Aurora Hines and Cameron Selbig.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
You may be seated. Thank you. Thank you, Aurora and Cameron. Welcome, parents, guardians, family, and friends to Monona Grove High School's Class of 2021 Commencement Ceremony. Class of 2021. There's been so much talk and focus on the fact that you have missed so much in the last 15 months. As you commence today, as you begin your next chapter after today, I want to pause and remind you that it is yet to be written what you will have gained as a result of the last 15 months. Every generation is defined by national events, by worldwide events, and how those events come to shape their life views, their habits, their attitudes, their beliefs. In short, how they respond to those events. This pattern predates even the greatest generation with World War II and how they were defined by their response. Your class, being born in 2002, 2003, you're at the heart of Generation Z, and you are as uniquely poised as any in that generation to define it. How will your generation respond to the experiences of the COVID-19 pandemic? Will you grow bitter? Will you be resentful? Will you live a life overly attached and dependent upon technology? Will you always perseverate on opportunities missed? Or will you be known for living passionately, embracing and valuing relationships like no other generation, detaching from technology, taking healthy social risks, and tracking down and capturing every opportunity that presents itself in your life? On behalf of the teachers at Monona Grove High School, the staff at Monona Grove High School, and the administration, I can confidently say that we believe for this class of 2021, it will be the latter. At this time, I would like to introduce your class officers for the class welcome and the poem. Please welcome to the stage Quentin Simmons, Camille Simmons, Matt Koenig, and Anya Schmidt.
Hello. I'd like to take a minute before we start to thank Mr. McGrath. I don't know if he mentioned, but this is his first year at MG, and it can't be an easy year to start as a principal at a new school. So I'd just like to give him a round of applause before we start for all of his hard work. Hi. My name is Quentin Simmons, and I've been the 2021 class president since sophomore year. It's been a while since I've seen all you guys, 449 days to be exact. I still remember walking out of the school on Friday, March 13th, 2020. Yeah, our last day of school before COVID was Friday the 13th. Not knowing what the future held. 2 days later, on March 15th, I turned 17 and subsequently received what I would come to accept as the worst birthday present of my life. The district officially canceled school. I received a text message in a group chat that night from Daniel Robbins that said, "I can't believe we've just stepped foot in the high school for the very last time." And we all laughed at him, thinking we'd be out for 2 weeks, a month at most. Turns out he was almost right, but luckily his prediction was foiled. Exactly a year later, on March 15th, 2021, I turned 18, and we all came back. Those first few days back, I didn't even recognize some of you guys because it had been so long. I mean, we've all changed so much since then. There's no doubt about that. But I didn't necessarily feel older until very recently. And we all turn 18 expecting to magically feel grown up, but I didn't really feel that right away. Then I was taking a drive through my neighborhood one night, and I was looking around, and I noticed a yard sign that kind of blew my mind. It said, "Congratulations, kindergartner, class of 2033. When I read that, I immediately felt old, because I remember being a kindergartner and feeling like I would never graduate. I mean, I was only 6 years old, and there I was being told that I still had 12 years, twice my life, left of school. I remember those countless careless nights, back when 10 minutes of homework was the end of the world, spent at the park idolizing the older kids. I remember driving by the high school and seeing all the students and thinking, that is never going to be me. But now it is me. It's us. And there's other kids out there looking up to all of us thinking that is never going to be them. That made me feel old. But it also made me excited. I realized that it's not a matter of whether we're ready or not to take on the world and be adults. We made it here despite our own doubts. We're graduating. We're ready. It doesn't matter if you're going to college, you're going into a trade or the workforce, going to the military, or have absolutely no idea what you want to do in the future. Just take a few deep breaths and realize that you're going to figure it out. It's a matter of whether we're going to take advantage of being ready. I'm grateful to have spent the last 6 to 12 years of my life with all of you guys. I really, truly cannot imagine a better community to have grown up in. I wish us all good luck in the future, and look forward to coming back in the future to see how we've all taken advantage of being ready. Bucks and 6, and thank you. All right, now we have our class poem. Congratulations, class of 2021. We made it at last. We're all here together, although we're still masked. The officers have written a poem from us to you about the great things of our class and the not so great things too. We hope you like it. We hope we did it right because in true senior fashion, we finished it last night.
Fresh out of GDS, really thought we were the best of the best. Some of us did Jumpstart, others thought it was bore. They weren't laughing when we beat them in tug of war. Finally got to school and started hitting the grind. Lunches at Rocky's tasted absolutely sublime. Had our monthly fire drill, then another, then one more. Started happening so frequently the walkout became a chore. Experienced our first homecoming, now that was a blast. Musical chairs turned into a full-out WWE match. Our first season in high school activities got underway. Football guys got ripped, and Model UN wrote their essays. As for the cross-country team, we learned the only days you aren't running are Sundays. It paid off in the end, as we went all the way to state. Swim followed shortly after, just with less hair and down a teammate. We were the first grade to do World Affairs, and now that was an experiment. At the very least, it made for some interesting entertainment. Got to our first summer finals week and said goodbye to our first senior mentors. That was year one of high school in the books, and it was one to remember.
Sophomore year kind of rocked. Our last normal year, and we were gifted with TikTok. We took driver's ed and behind the wheel. Parents, teachers, and friends were all filled with fear. We faced major changes, like IHOP becoming IHOB, not to mention lots of us were seeking a minimum wage job. If you heard Yanni and not Laurel, you're absolutely crazy, and I'm sorry to say that we were the last class to actually read the Odyssey. Swim placed at state, like every other year. Lil Nas X released Old Town Road, and we couldn't help our cheer. Band and choir set off to New York City in buses that only broke down a couple times. Now that's pretty nifty. We went to the Respect Retreat and played a lot of bonding games. Continuing our fiery legacy, the culinary room only had a couple too many flames. We got a week off of school while we suffered through a polar vortex. Our AP's exams are online, and probably read enough text to damage our prefrontal cortex. Although we're sorry about the DJ, our winter form will still set several records, soon to be upperclassmen, and we are ready to reap the awards.
Junior year, we started out on top, with no way of knowing how soon the world was going to stop. We quickly learned the torture of having multiple AP classes. Our homework sessions became so long we needed reading glasses. Finally, upperclassmen, such a great change of pace, as the boys' swim team got second place at state. Show choir got grand champs in the Parkview extravaganza, while icy memes and fire memes spread their taboo propaganda. On March 15th, we were excited for our extra 2-week vacation. We soon realized it would turn into a full year's staycation. Our prom in the Enchanted Garden turned out to be one that was quite the burden. Despite prom being canceled, we still dressed up glamorous as can be, but nowhere to go and hardly anyone to see. In the bad times that came, there were still some good times to remember. Our AP exams were online, and that was definitely for the better. Going to virtual school was a challenge for some of us, so when we switched to pass-fail grading, almost no one made a fuss. Our junior year is one to remember or not remember. We were hoping by September, our senior year would surely be better.
Senior year was tough, that much is for sure, but there were still a lot of memories that we got to secure. Yeah, we missed out on a lot of stuff and didn't get a dance, but we got to experience Mr. Hull skydiving while he taught us finance. We memorized each other's profile pics until hybrid was executed, and every once in a while we laughed at someone who accidentally unmuted. Of course, there were trends that emerged throughout this flu. I mean, all anyone can talk about now are driver's licenses and deja vu. Then we found out that graduation was a go, and we hopped on that beat like the Mario Bros. Now we're all here, we've made it. We can finally arrive in the masses, and somehow administration pulled the Alliant Energy Center out of their pockets. It's still not ideal, but it's pretty flippin' cool. When our future kids complain about homework, we can say, well, when I was in school. Fond farewell to this chapter and to all the joy and laughter. This one's for all of us. Let's hang our time at MG up in the rafters. Thank you.
All right, it is my honor this year to introduce our class teacher speaker this year, Miss Nelson. Every year, the graduating class votes on one teacher that we feel would give a speech that best exemplifies our class's journey through high school, or some years, just a teacher that we think is really cool. Impressively, Miss Nielsen was the top vote this year, despite only having taught at MG for 2 years and not having very many senior attended classes. What this should tell you is that Ms. Nielsen's captivating teaching style, compassionate demeanor, and extreme dedication towards helping her students achieve their best in her classes are also inspiring that even students who haven't directly learned from her hold her in high regard. I'd also be doing her a disservice if I didn't mention her TikTok, where she is quite popular and helps both her own students and students from all around the globe understand physics. Please welcome the class of 2021 teacher speaker, Ms. Nielsen.
Hey y'all. This is crazy. There are so many people. Hello, families, friends, teachers, staff, administrators, and of course, hello and congratulations to the class of 2021. I have to start out by saying thank you. 150 of you were my very first students as I began my teaching career here at MGHS just last year. And I'm so incredibly honored to have been chosen as this year's teacher speaker. However, I am surprised that you chose me. After all, you all have spent more time at Monona Grove than I have, and you spent more time with such absolutely incredible, amazing teachers. Even for those of you that were in my class, we didn't even get to spend a whole year of normal school together. Also, I'm surprised that you chose me because, frankly, what advice do I have to offer? Don't have much real-life experience. What do I know that you don't already? What can I say that you haven't already heard? I've spent barely 2 years in the working world now, and only 8 months of that was normal. I spent a long time thinking about this, about what to say to you today. And every time I tried to write something down, it was either so corny and cheesy, or I was just absolutely stumped. So naturally, I asked for help. First, I asked people, mostly people with actual life experience, other teachers at MGHS, my friends, my sister, even my parents. And the advice was so widely ranged. Small things like wear sweatpants when you can. Don't forget to separate your laundry or check your email at least twice a day. To big things like pay more attention to the kind of person you want to be rather than what you want to do. Then I asked Google, how do you write a graduation speech when you don't have a lot of real life experience? And Google told me to talk about you. Of course, I could spend the entire rest of the day talking about the absolutely amazing things that you've accomplished in the midst of a crazy year, like learning to use Flipgrid, Canvas, Pear Deck, Kami, Canvas, Google Meets, and learning to have patience with your teachers as we were learning those things right alongside you. I could spit out the traditional congratulations that are offered during every graduation speech ever, like think about the mountains you have climbed, the adversity you've overcome, the battles you fought and won, the lifelong friendships you have forged. Of course, those mountains were 10 times as tall this year, and those battles were just small things, like finding the motivation to get out of bed and attend online class. Then, of course, there's the long list of inspirational cliches. Life is about the journey, not the destination. Or be yourself. Everybody else is taken. Or do not. There is no try. And these bits of advice are great, but they're not from me. And you chose me. After all, I'm not really one for original thoughts. I teach physics, laws of nature that were discovered and established hundreds of years ago. I recycle information. So after I asked friends and Google, I went to TikTok and I watched some motivational speakers. And they said to start with what you know. So here's some physics. You may recall learning some laws of physics last year, like Newton's 3 laws of motion. An object at rest will stay at rest, an object in motion will stay in motion, blah, blah, blah. Or maybe conservation laws, like conservation of momentum and conservation of energy. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. I really hope that rings a bell. But there's one law that we didn't talk about, and it's called Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law is a law of nature that states anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Murphy, whoever he was, woke up and chose chaos. It might seem a bit pessimistic, but if we've learned anything in the past year and a half, it's that 1, Chromebooks can't handle more than 1 tab at a time when in a Google Meet, and 2, to expect the unexpected. I always hated that phrase, expect the unexpected. Gee, thanks. Murphy's Law says that not only will things change, but they'll go wrong. They'll go not according to plan. Expect the unexpected is just another way of saying that things are going to change. So here's my first bit of advice today. Don't get too caught up in your planning. It might seem weird, right? You've been conditioned the past 12 years to have a plan, to stay organized, to know what you want to do so you can go out and get it. But your plans only work out if everything else stays the same. And as we know from Murphy's Law and from the past 16 months, things have a habit of going wrong. It's good to have a plan. Don't get me wrong, I'd be a hypocrite if I said anything different. I probably have 18 Post-it notes on my computer at home with random half-written plans. So, what am I really saying? Don't get so caught up in the future that you lose track of what's happening right now. Be present. No matter what, there's always going to be something that you didn't plan for, so why spend so much time pouring cement on your future plans that you don't pay attention to the awesome things that are happening right around you? It's been mentioned several times. This is the second time since March 13th of 2020 that y'all have been in the same place. Yesterday being the first time, and today is probably the last time that's ever going to happen. The present, the now, it's worth spending time on, it's worth worrying about, it's worth paying attention to because the future is coming. No matter what your plans are, it's coming with a jackhammer to undo all of that cement you thought was safe. Things will go wrong, and sometimes things that go wrong are better than the right plans that you had all along. It was not my plan to be a teacher. 6 years ago, I sat in your seats and I planned to be an engineer, to literally pour cement and build bridges, things that would stand the test of time and never change. But that plan went wrong. I didn't like it. So I chose teaching. And now I'm a teacher, but it's because of all of you that I absolutely love being a teacher. And for that, I'm so grateful that my plans didn't work out, that things went wrong for me. So be present, pay attention, take it all in. I'm not going to stand up here and pretend like I know it all. I don't. I don't have all the answers, and I am 100% still trying to figure it all out, like taxes and mortgages and investing. I should ask Mr. Hull. No one could have possibly expected the sheer amount of unexpected things that you all have encountered in the past 16 months. There were so many times this year that I just felt overwhelmed and I felt out of control, and I'm guessing you can relate. When that happens, I think about something that my mom says. Everything will be all right in the end, and if it's not all right, then it's not the end. That quote actually comes from John Lennon, and he and my mom, as usual, are right. Truly, honestly, everything's gonna be okay. Even when everything is changing and when things go wrong, because they will go wrong, I promise everything is gonna be okay. It is in those moments of change and plans going wrong that you get to make mistakes. You get to learn about who you are and discover the person that you might want to become. And as I said before, I'm still figuring that out. I don't really know what kind of person I am or who I'm going to be tomorrow or in a month or in a year from now. And that's okay. And honestly, everybody else is trying to figure it out too. So if you're sitting there, you're not really sure, you're still figuring it out, join the club. It's a great place to be. Nobody has all the answers, and if they say they do, they're pulling it out of their pockets. The only thing that you can do is just be you and know that everything's gonna be okay. In conclusion, I think Ferris Bueller said it best. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go ahead and watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off sometime this summer. I'm so thankful to be ending this chapter of your life with you because you all started my teaching chapter of my life with me. Once again, congratulations to the class of 2021. Despite Murphy making everything go wrong, y'all did it. Thank you.
Thank you again, Ms. Nielsen, for those words and that thoughtful, insightful reflection. The Monona Grove Choir, under the direction of Lori Naherniak, will now sing Someday, followed by Don't Stop Me Now. They are accompanied by Tadas Naherniak. That was our Monona Grove High School choir, accompanied by Tadas Naherniak, and for the final time, under the direction of Lori Naherniak. Anya Schmidt will introduce our commencement speaker at this time.
It is my honor to introduce Torn Young as our graduation speaker. Mr. Torn Young is an MG alumni himself. He played on our varsity football team with coaches Michael Stassi and Brandon Beckwith. While an MG student, Torn was held in high regard by his coaches, teachers, and peers for his work ethic and strength of character. Since his MG years, Mr. Torn Young received a scholarship to play football for the University of Iowa and has become a first-generation college graduate. He received a degree in sports and recreation management with hopes to help out young future athletes just like himself. He is also involved with many social activist movements in our community. Torn Young is a very diligent and hardworking man who cares about his community and the people around him. Everyone, please give a warm welcome to today's graduation speaker, Mr. Torn Young.
So before I get started, I just want to take a moment to reflect on this past year and recognize the students, staff, administration, everyone on the stage here, and the parents. As a community, we were faced with many challenges, socially, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Despite all the adversity, you managed to come together and keep moving forward. I know to get here to graduation in person with everyone was not an easy task, so I want to recognize the sacrifice it took for all of us to be here. Let's give a round of applause for all the students, staff, parents, administration, everyone on the stage here with me, and the healthcare workers. Now, one more quick thing before I go in my speech. I do want to warn everyone, back when I was here at MG, I took Ms. Radlinger's speech class and passed, so if you don't like my speech, you know exactly who to blame. When I got the news that I would be your guest speaker, I was just as confused as some of you parents probably were when you saw the program for today and read Torrin Young. Who the heck is that? When you think of a guest speaker for a commencement, you think of big-name celebrities, entrepreneurs, authors, or for example, last year's speaker, comedian Charlie Behrens. Thanks, class of 2021. How am I supposed to follow that up? I mean, I guess I do have one thing going for me, though. A lot of people do say I look kind of like Drake, so that has to count for something, right? In all seriousness, while I can't give you the blueprint on how to be a successful business owner, a Grammy Award-winning artist, or a viral sensation on TikTok or YouTube, I can offer you advice and perspective as someone who literally sat in the same exact seat as you just 5 years ago. My hope is that today, at the very least, I can leave you with one piece of advice that you feel can help you navigate life and the path you choose moving forward. Class of 2021, you're getting ready to enter some of the most exciting times of your life, as well as some trying times. As you prepare to face the next challenge and being more independent than you ever have, I want to share 5 rules that I have discovered and that have helped guide me along my journey. Rule number 1, be where your feet are. To be where your feet are is exactly how it sounds. Be in the moment. Appreciate the present. Being where your feet are is about understanding that it's not I have to, but it's I get to. I get to go to school. I get to wake up and go to work. I get to wake up early. As human beings, it is in our nature to always look ahead to the next thing and overlook what we have in the present moment. You hear people all the time say, I can't wait. Seniors, do you remember being in middle school saying, I can't wait till I'm in high school? During high school, I'm sure some of you probably said, I can't wait until I'm in college. The reality is that after a while, it never fails that our I can't wait statements turn into I wish. I wish I could go back, or I wish I was a kid again. We are all guilty of spending so much time looking ahead that when our present moment is gone, we find ourselves looking back, wishing we can have those moments and things we took for granted again. Enjoy the now. Seniors, all you should be doing is taking in this very moment. You don't have to have all the answers to your future right now, and until they build time machines, there's nothing you can do about the past. All that's guaranteed is the moment that you're standing in. Class of 2021, when you find yourself over-planning and worrying about the future or wishing for the past, be where your feet are. Rule number 2. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond. Adversity is inevitable. We all go through tough times, we all deal with roadblocks, and at times, life just doesn't feel fair. The thing about adversity is that it affects us all differently. No one person's challenges are completely the same. And we often make the mistake of trying to pass judgment on people's struggles when we truly have no idea how it affects them. The truth is, when it comes to life, only you can choose how to respond. When adversity strikes, you can let it keep you down and out, or you can take it head on, own it, and use it as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. Some of the biggest names we know today all had to overcome adversity. For example, Albert Einstein was not able to speak until the age of 4, and today is known as one of the greatest physicists of all time. The first time Michael Jordan tried out for the varsity team, he was told that he lacked the necessary skills. He went on to become the greatest basketball player in history. Walt Disney was fired from his first job and was told he lacked creativity. We all know how that ended. When Jay-Z began his career, there was not a single record label that wanted to sign him. Last year, he became one of only 2 rappers in history to become a billionaire. Class of 2021, when adversity hits and you feel defeated, remember that the things that happen to us in life don't define us, how we respond does. Life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% how you respond. Rule number 3, embrace change. There are very few things in the world that remain the same over time. The world around us is constantly changing, and this concept is tough for us to grasp because by nature, we are creatures of habit. We find comfort in having a routine, so when we face change, we get flustered and search to find ways to get back to what we view as the norm. The truth about change is that although it is uncomfortable, it equals opportunity. With change comes the opportunity to grow, learn, experience, and discover. Class of 2021, you're going to experience more change than you ever have. Whether you go on to attend a big university, go into trade school, or decide that you're ready to get a job and work. This period will be one of the biggest changes you've had in the past 13 years. Embrace it. It won't be the most comfortable, and again, you won't have all the answers, but if you keep an open mind, you'll find that so many opportunities will present themselves. You will build new relationships, find new interests and hobbies, travel to new places, and most importantly, learn about yourself. Seniors, when you find yourself frustrated that things are not going as planned and you're forced to go off script, remember, change equals opportunity. Embrace change. Rule number 4, do the next right thing. This means to do the right thing when nobody is watching, or doing the right thing when it may not be convenient for you. Doing the next right thing is about helping someone when you are able and accepting help when you need it. It's about people caring for people. This rule is applicable to every aspect of life and looks different based on the given situation you're in. It does not matter if you're at home, in public, at school, at work, or in any other social setting. I will never forget my sophomore year here at MG. I didn't quite understand my potential and was struggling academically. One day I was so overwhelmed with school and some of my grades that I had a breakdown in the hallway. I happened to be walking past Mr. Willauer's room. At this moment, me and Mr. Willauer have never met. He only taught juniors and seniors, and I was a sophomore at the time. He saw me upset, and he stopped me and brought me into his classroom. He asked why I was upset, and I explained I was struggling and that my grades weren't where I wanted them. With no hesitation, he took the time to go one by one through all of my classes and make a plan for each and every class on how I can improve my grades and prep for upcoming assignments and exams. From that moment on, I would go on to meet once weekly with Mr. Willauer to go over my progress until I was fully caught up and met my goals. This is one small example of doing the next right thing. Mr. Willauer helping me during his planning period was not convenient, but he felt it was the right thing to do. That one interaction changed the entire trajectory of my academic career. I went from struggling in high school to make sure I was academically eligible to getting to college and becoming a 2-time academic All-Big Ten. Seniors, never take for granted the power in people and understand that our duty as people is to care for people. You never know what someone may be going through or what they need, and with every interaction, you have the ability to make an impact. Class of 2021, wherever life takes you, or whatever situation you find yourself in, do the next right thing. Rule number 5, be you. The places we go, the shows we watch, the content we read, and the music we listen to are agents of socialization. Everything around us plays a role in influencing who we are. With more access to media, public opinions, ideologies, and celebrity lifestyles than we ever have, we often create unrealistic expectations on who we should be. We constantly feel the pressure to chase a lifestyle that we don't have. We have these expectations on how our body should look, the brand of clothes that we wear, the way that we talk, and the list goes on. It's all about following trends and what's quote-unquote cool. It's so easy to want to fit in, and by following what someone else does, But the truth is, life is like a big puzzle. No one piece of the puzzle is the same. Each piece has its own unique shape, size, and color. The beautiful thing is that although each piece is its own, they all naturally come together to fit perfectly. Never feel the need to change or be someone you are not. You already fit in. Take pride in your authentic self. Class of 2021, in this next period of your life, you will have more influence than you probably ever have. In this next period of your life, go after the career that you want, not the ones your parents or friends think is a fit. Don't compare your image and body type to others. Instagram is not reality. Date who you want to date, as long as they treat you right. Spend time doing the things you love. And most importantly, when you enter a room, don't change. Let your light shine. Take pride in your unique differences because that, in fact, is what makes you fit in. Seniors, no matter where you are, be you. Class of 2021, as each and every one of you transition into this new period of your life, I will be the first to tell you, it will not always be easy. But it won't always be hard. Some days are harder than others. Some days will be the best of your life. In this period, you will experience ups and downs, triumph and defeat. No matter where you are in life, maybe when you feel stuck, need a little push, or even feel like you need a small reset, remember these 5 things. Be where your feet are. Life is 10% with what happens to you, 90% how you respond. Embrace change. Do the next right thing. And most importantly, be you. I want to thank you all for this opportunity. It was truly an honor to be your guest speaker. And most importantly, I'd like to say congratulations to the class of 2021. I know you will all do great things.
That was Torrin Young. Torrin, thank you for joining us this afternoon and for sharing those 5 pieces of wisdom that we can hang on to. Another round for Torrin Young. Thank you. Torrin rearranged his baby shower for us today, but he does have to make it, so he did have to leave us. The presentation of diplomas. Members of the Board of Education, I confirm that these students have met the requirements to graduate from Monona Grove High School as set forth in school board policy. I proudly present the graduates of the class of 2021 to receive their diplomas. Students in the first row, will you stand at this time and approach the stage on either side? Quentin Simmons, Camille Simmons. Matthew Koenig, Anya Schmidt.
Soleil Adams and Riley Allen. Nina Amawanya and Caitlin Anderson. Leah Anderson and Kyle Anongdeth. Cassandra Antonson and Nathan Armstrong. Sarah Ashland and Brianna Bach. Worry Ba and Jahan Baker Wainwright. Cadence Becker and Cameron Benke. Lauren Bird and Jackson Blair. William Blue and Mason Bodenstein. Aiden Blotz and Zachary Blotz. Kenneth Bowe and Owen Bondurant. Connor Bracken and Sophia Brandt Reinhardt. Anna Brennan and Madeline Brown. Morgan Bruzewitz and Alexander Buss. Tyler Carpenter and Kira Caraview. Brandon Chihak and Grace Christensen. Brandon Churches, and Brandon Clark. Teal Coyle Otto and Natalie Condon. Gracie Cook and William Corbett. Marley Cormican and Bruce Cortez. Dawson Kowalski and Nicholas Crawford. Owen Croak and Santina Cullison. Benjamin Curtis and Sean Doherty. Maggie Davis and Adeline Dean. Jacob Doctor and Liam Dodge. Brock Drake and Jenna Dudek. Lucas Dye and Caden Eastland. Emily Elder and Kira Ellefson. Isabel Engolke and Christina Etzler.
Dylan Ewing, Madeline Farwell. Kyle Fink and Anna Fisher. Owen Fluke and Lily Foster. Amayas Frank, and Jasmine Gage. Ignacio Katika and Alexandra Marshall. Alexandra Gennerman, my fault. Dylan Genshaw and Vanessa G. Lombardo. Jacob Giftos and Aiden Genshaw. Emma Goke and Adriana Goldsby. Paola Garcia and Autumn Grebe. Rylan Gringy and Nicholas Haberly. Joseph Hendrick and Sophia Harvey. Alyssa Hatch and Rachel Hepp. Aurora Hines and Lakin Henson. Luke Hohensee and Kylie Hollenstein. Acacia Holmquist and Allison Humphley. Mitchell Hunter and Zoe Huss. Braden Hyatt and Dominic Hyatt. Ella Imhoff and Carson Inda. Carly Jackson and John Jan. Zoe Jenks-Recker and Tyree Jensen. Evelyn Jones and Natalie Jones. Muhammad Kambi and Sylvan Kamita. Martinez Cassis and Kevin Keaveney. David Klauser and Samantha Klinke. Evan Klinkner and Matthew Klazinski. Riley Klutzman and Benjamin Kinnick. Olivia Knutsvig and Ryan Knutson. Megan Cole and Rojan Kupai Abazani. Skylar Koopmans and Stephen Koopmans.
Haley Laufenberg and Julie Lee. Owen Lee and Sophia Levinson. Robin Lee, Jackson Loeffler. Sean Lofgren, Sunsia Loy. Cameron Lucy. Lucas Mertz and Gaston Marchetti. Alexandria Marshall, Raina Martel. Jacob Martinez, Dylan Matuzak. John McAllister and Connor McConnell. Maximilian McNerlin, Ethan Momans. Tyler Myers, Clayton Mickelson. Lily Miller and Annika Moman. Aaron Morva and Brady Morva. Albert Motzel and Colin Mulcahy. Jazara Nance and Oliver Nath. Alexander Nelson, Lance Nelson. Peyton Nelson, Kevin Nett. Jackson Nielsen, Mariama Najai. Emmanuel Ocasio, Hallie Olson. Noah Olson, Quinn Otten. Kaya Parker, Jaden Parks. Olivia Pax, Anisha Perkins. Mara Phillips, Robert Phillips. Lauren Pinkston, Alexander Platapara. Ashley Price and Chloe Quall. Xander Rains and Jacob Reithmeyer. Chloe Rembes and Amanda Revelinsky. Mason Ring, Daniel Robbins. Lawson Roosh, Taylor Roosh.
Avery Rulo, Jacob Sale. Jacob Schaefer, Christian Schlitt. Callie Schmidt, Jeremy Schmuel. Brandon Schreckenthaler, Joseph Schultz. Eli Scott, Cameron Selbig. Samuel Shabani, Joshua Sheldon. Alexander Sievert. Luca Simpson, Sheldon Smith. Elizabeth Stamen, Colin Stewart. Samuel Suski, Natalia Tavares. Connor Thomas, Lauren Thomas. William Tomey, Luke Tibbetts. Lucas Tipton, Adam Tisler. Tegan Tolley, Eli Trader. Alexis Trapp, Emma True. Avon Truman, Elijah Turner. Hallie Uhalt, Emma Ushin. Hayden Van Lannen, Elizabeth Van Vagel. Brianna Vang, Brooke Vang. Colin Vang, Carter Vaughn. Annabelle Vesperman, Edwin Villarone. Carmen Vogt, Noah Walker. Henry Walsh, Brooke Way. Hannah Weber, Gavin Wendricks. Taylor Whalen, Jonathan Williams. Skylar Wilson, McKenna Worth. Avery Wright, Amelia Zadrazil. Claire Zagadlo, Adam Zell. Tanner Zenger, Ruby Zolan.
Winona Grove High School, class of 2021, please rise together at this time. You have performed the time-honored tradition of moving one another's tassels from right to left, signaling the significant passage of student to graduate. Parents, guardians, guests, I present to you the class of 2021. Congratulations.